Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Remember 11. Whew, it's been a while. Last episode, we escaped death for I Got a Game Over, the episode prior, and we had a confrontation with Inubushi Keiko, and we saw that Inubushi Keiko killed a man that we don't know. And it's weird because I thought only the four of us were in Sphere, but it seems like there was someone else, one more person in Sphere. Not sure if he was in Sphere already or if he came to visit Sphere and just ended up dead because Inubushi Keiko broke out and killed him. And then Utsumi and Inubushi Keiko had a fight, and that shed some light on on Utsumi's character, that she is willing to kill Inubushi Keiko because she's a murderous monster. So Utsumi really isn't the sweet lady, old lady. Wait, is she old? She looks old. Sweet old lady that we thought her to be. But anyway, that's basically what happened last time, and then we transferred and we're on the 5th day. However, because I chose different choices after my game over, because I wanted to see more new dialogue, right? But then I didn't take in consideration the long-term consequences, and also I did kind of want to stay with Kokoro keeping the food. So yeah. Good thing I had a save file that was pretty close to this part of the game. If I didn't, I had to start from the beginning and that would be such a hassle. But anyway, if there's an outcut and if there's anything new, if there's anything new along the way, I'll show it to you guys. But I think this will just affect the 5th day since we woke up in the cabin. Anyway, I'll see you guys there. Whew, okay, now we're here to the 5th chapter. You know, while I was going through all that, I forgot to mention about the scar on Uni. You know, I think I already said this before, but I think because in the CG in the cabin with Uni's scar, the events at Sphere happened first because Inubushi Keiko slashed him on the left side, the same side we saw the scar on Uni. So yeah, I think the events at Sphere happened first, even though Itsumi and Satoru's minds are in 2012. Sphere is in 2011, so I don't know what exactly is happening there, but I left a comment in my last episode. If you search the comments, I have this like paragraph explaining what I think. But anyway, it's just too much to say here. But in short, I think the cabin's like a simulation of sorts, like it's recreated. But that could be totally wrong. Let's keep on going. And the things she said were, slowly lost consciousness, the frigate air woke me, it seems I've fallen asleep without realizing it. Felt like I had gotten a lot weaker. After the chaos at Sphere, my consciousness returned to the cabin. At that time, it was already late at night. However, since I wasn't fixated on the idea, go to sleep and you'll die, I just stayed awake. In the end, no matter how many times I began to doze off, I was awakened by the cold again. Looking at my watch, it was 1:30. I couldn't confirm the time before I fell asleep. Even though it was afternoon, it seemed dark and gloomy outside. It was as if the sun had disappeared. I want to approach the window, look out the window. I'm gonna look out the window. I look outside from in bed. The window was completely frosted over with snow, so the outside scenery could hardly be seen. However, there was a terrible roar coming from outside. We were in the thick of a violent blizzard. The raging wind and snow repeatedly slammed against the window, creating the uneasy impression that it might crack at any moment. I looked away from the window. Everyone in the shelter cabin had already woken up. They were all shivering. None of them started a conversation and simply crouched. None of them started a conversation and simply crouched where they were, shivering. The fire on the stove had gone out a while ago. Oh no. The last of the firewood had been used up last night. Oh, that's right. The situation is really bad here. We didn't have anything left to burn. I thought it was cold even with the stove on. But now that the fire is burnt out, the cold is beyond all comparison. I couldn't stop my body from shivering even if I wanted to. I was wearing several layers of coats and wrapping myself in a blanket on top of that, but they had no effect at all. My fingers and toes felt a pain like being pierced by needles. Touching my own hand, I was shocked at how terribly cold it felt. My hands wouldn't warm up even if I blew on them or rubbed them together. Touching my hair, I found that parts of it had frozen from the cold. Man, it's that cold, huh? Tears welled up in my eyes as I combed my hair with my fingers over and over again. It had likely gotten wet when I went out to get snow for water last night, and had frozen just like that. Yomigi had said water was the thing most important for living. In the last rationing of water, we divided it into 4 PET bottles. The 4 of us each had 1 bottle. I didn't want to imagine what would happen when this water ran out. Even Uni, who'd been simple-mindedly energetic until yesterday, and Yomigi, who kept his calm with his composure, were curling themselves up. Everyone, including Maizumi, was wearing a hollow expression. Man, the despair. Their complexions were blue and lacking any life. If their eyes had been closed and their lips weren't trembling, I wouldn't be able to tell whether they were dead or alive. That was how much the feeling of hopelessness had begun to drift over everyone. It was a terrible atmosphere. Even though I thought that, I myself didn't feel any hope. I wasn't in any position to encourage the others. We'd already taken refuge in this cabin for 5 days. There had been no sign that a search party was coming around. In this snowstorm, help probably won't come today either. There's no guarantee that it'll clear up by tomorrow, and there are no grounds to believe that help will come tomorrow even if it did. All of my thoughts were turning negative. Maybe the entire world has forgotten about us. Maybe no one even noticed that the plane had crashed. Even though that shouldn't be, I inadvertently think it, and my chest is gripped with anxiety. And on top of that, I'm carrying another troublesome problem. What happened at Sphia had become vague in my mind because of that transfer, but did Satoru resolve that messed up situation? Who attacked Satoru? Who can I believe in? Who was the man that died? What was this transfer phenomenon I've been experiencing in the first place? I start pondering all of this with the mind slowed by cold and lack of sleep. Maybe the personality transfer is a dream? I curve my dried and cracked lips. I've asked myself that unproductive question over and over again. If that really was the case, how relieved I would be. However, the transfer phenomenon is reality. Oh, poor Kokoro. Raising my head, I saw that Uni had come up in front of me before I noticed. His muttering voice wavered from the cold. Oh, of course you can, Uni. I nodded and opened up my space on my bed for Uni. I opened my blanket to invite Uni in. Uni and I piled our 2 blankets up together as we both covered ourselves with them. And then... Uni whispered while blushing. As I skipped breakfast as well, I was famished too.
そうだね。
And my speech is slurred. My speech is slurred.
食事にしよっか。
I take out the can from the vinyl bag under my pillow. So I knew it. This is where my choice comes in. But if I gave it to Uni, what would have happened? I mean, if I gave it to Yomigi, what would have happened then? In there was the remaining food supply for 3 people, me, Uni, and Yomigi, but none for Mayuzumi. I faced Yomigi and signaled him with my eyes, but he shook his head slightly. I raised my eyes to the top bunk bed where Mayuzumi was, and with only my lips mouthed. Here you go. To Uni. I take just a bit of the hardtack from the can. I hold out half of my biscuit to Uni.
いいの？
Uni smiled weakly.
リカと。
Together, we snapped the biscuit in two. It wasn't enough to relieve my hunger, but mentally, I felt a bit better.
次のね、僕が心に多めに分けてあげるね。無理しなくてもいいのよ。平気。でも心のためならちょっとぐらいお腹が空いても我慢するもん。だからユニ。
I love that sweetness of Uni so much it was almost unbearable. I know, right? The tears I've been holding back until now overflowed all at once. No, I'm gonna cling to him. I slowly reached for Uni's glasses.
ダメ。あれはダメ。なんでよ。僕の身にもなってよ。あれってすっごく苦しいんだから。私のためなら我慢できるんでしょ。それとこれとは別だよ。
Without any other alternative, I settled for grasping Uni's small hand instead.
あれ？
There was something gripped in his cold hand. It was a charm. I wonder where it came from.
いいでしょ。僕を守ってくれるんだよ。
Perhaps trying to cheer me up, Uni forced a smile. However, his smile seemed cramped by the cold.
それじゃあ二人で神様にお願いしよう。
We gripped the charm together, closed our eyes, and prayed. It was a prayer to God without any foundation, but the mere existence of this charm acted as support to us.
なんてお願いしたの？どうかみんな無事に帰れますように。ユニは？
Uni hid his face. With hollow eyes, a fleeting smile crossed his face.
あのね、ココロンとずっと一緒にいれますようにって。
That's sweet, Uni. I couldn't hold it back anymore. No, Kokoro.
やめてよ。苦しいよ心。ハグ。ギブ。
I just love the relationship. Uni and Kokoro's, when Uni's not being creepy. It brings light to the mood, you know, cause the situation at the cabin is it's not good right now, so yeah, it gives me a lighter mood, you know, the interactions of Kokoro and Uni. They make a sad part of the story being a bit more happy, I guess you can say. It was nothing more than an empty show of spirit. However, I acted as if I was in high spirits as always, so that Uni might be even a little bit more energetic. Uni had encouraged me with his sweet kindness. Releasing himself, Uni looked a bit fed up as he took a deep breath. I softly embraced his shaking shoulders. Uni seemed to have calmed down as he surrendered his body to me. We stayed with one another, rolled up in a blanket, gripping each other's hands. I slowly closed my eyes. Uni's small body was faintly warm. I truly feel it. As long as this warmth is here, I won't be alone. I have comrades that can help me. As long as Yumi and Yomigi are here, I'll do my best to survive. I hope you can survive. Anyway, what's happening at Sphia? Oh, I have a bad feeling. Before I noticed, the trembling from the cold had transformed into a feeling of lethargy. I opened my eyes. Oh, okay, we're just at Sphia. I saw the white walls of Sphia. I was sitting on Satoru's bed.
また飛んだ。
Sphia had functional heating, unlike the freezing cold shelter cabin. There was food here too. However, I wasn't the least bit happy. Because in Sphia, the presence of a murderous monster was constantly approaching me. When I tried to stand up... Whoa, what the heck? Whoa. The heck? What is this? My vision distorted. On top of that, I couldn't put any strength into my body at all, as if all my bones had been removed. What the heck? I fell to my knees. I tried to get up, but my body wouldn't listen to me. None of the muscles in my body were responding. I couldn't move an arm or even lift a single finger. Just what is going on? I tried to mutter, but my mouth and tongue wouldn't move how I wanted them to. My voice wouldn't come forth either. But still, even with my body unable to move, my mind was completely clear. What's happening? One more try, I tell myself. It's odd. No matter how you look at it, this is odd. I'm not exactly sure what, but something definitely happened to Satoru's body. On top of that, it was critically abnormal. Move, 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 move. Please, move already! I put everything I have into moving my limbs. Focusing my concentration on my fingertips, slowly, yet impatiently, I did everything I could to put strength into them. How long did this go on? By the time I was able to lift it even slightly, my body was covered in sweat. I dragged my drowsy body to the edge of the bed and sat down. To speak comparatively, it was as if my whole body had been assaulted with lethargy. Whoa. I felt dizzy again. What was going on with my body? Panic struck me as if I realized that this condition might be permanent. Shaking my head slightly, I staggered to stand up. I was somehow able to manage that much. However, my legs felt unreliable, as if they had followed me as soon as I let my guard down. It was probably the first time since birth that it's taken me this much effort just to stand up or move. I felt as if my body had degenerated terribly. I turned my arm slightly. I couldn't put that much strength into it, and my body continued to stagger, but I didn't feel any pain. There didn't seem to be any injuries besides my left arm that got cut the other day, as well as my right hand. Then why? I pondered the cause of this situation. I wasn't injured. My head felt perfectly clear, and it didn't seem like I was sick either. Then what? Oh, that's so strange. Then I suddenly realized there was someone trying to kill Satoru. Pushing him off a building, stabbing, drowning. They used many different methods to try and murder Satoru. And now the next method this person had attempted to use was what? It can't be. Poisoning. In other words, what my body is experiencing right now is due to some sort of drug? I shuddered at the thought. My vision became distorted once again. I crouched down when it seemed like I was going to fall. Going as far as using poison to kill is just too much. The murderous monster was ready to kill Satoru by any means. I squeezed my eyes shut and strongly clutched at my shoulders.
もうやだよ
Unable to stand the fear, tears began to flow from my eyes. How many times will I have to go through this? I slowly opened my eyes and the dizziness began to recede. The feeling of lethargy attacking my body began to lessen as well. Maybe the symptoms appear and disappear in waves?
私はどうしたらいいのそうだ
I decided to leave a note for Satoru. I don't know what kind of drug he took, or was it injected, but I'll have to deal with it myself. In times of crisis like this, we have to keep in especially close communication with each other. I looked toward the notepad. Man, that's crazy. Because Satoru's hands were under the influence of the drug, I could feel how their grip had weakened. It wasn't my dominant hand, but I earnestly grabbed hold of the pen with my right hand and began writing a message for Satoru. It's Kokoro. There's something strange going on with your body. What happened? Did someone make you take poison? Please tell me. Even just a little is fine, so tell me. I paused. A teardrop fell onto the notepad. The ink ran and blurred. Fear. Irrationality. Loneliness. Sorrow. All these emotions piled on top of each other were pressing down hard on my heart. Unable to bear the pain, the tears began to fall one after another. Without wiping them away, I continued to write. As if to say that this was my only remaining method of resistance, I single-mindedly continued to run my pen across the paper. I don't want to die. I don't want you to die either, Satoru. What should I do? What should I do to help? I'm scared. I'm very, very scared. I have no idea why this is happening. I don't even know what will happen 5 minutes from now. I don't know who I can believe in either. Hey, Satoru, I want to meet you. Even a single glance is fine, but I want to meet you. Because the one reflected in the mirror isn't you, it's me. I want to meet the you that's really you. Because there's no one I can believe in but you, Satoru. And I want you to tell me that everything's alright. I want you to tell me that there's nothing to worry about. I put down the pen and wiped away my tears. The things I wrote in the message were my true feelings. It was almost like a confession of love, but I think it's different from that. I wanted to cling to someone. I wanted to cling to someone for them to say to me, don't worry, you can relax now. I wanted someone to hold me tight and say those words. I think I wanted to escape from this unstable situation by clinging to someone. I think my mind's already reached its limit. A sound came from the direction of the door. I quickly raised my head. I saw Uni peeking in through the slightly open door. Realizing he'd been spotted, Uni's face filled with anxiety. As though to escape, he made to run away.
どうしたのよ待って
I forcefully stood up. I stagger, and there's still some slight dizziness. My body wouldn't move the way I wanted it to, as if it were made out of jelly. But even so, I pushed my arms and legs to move and chased after him. Uni rushed into his own room. I followed after him. Entering the room, I saw Uni's frightened eyes staring back at me.
来ないでよ
Then why are you going in my room?
どうしたの何を怖がってるの
As I neared him, Uni pulled himself back as if trying to get away.
逃げないでいいよ安心して 私だよ。冬川心だよ。
Uni shook his head almost hard enough to make a sound.
違うよ。サトルは病気なんだ。だから。
Uni retreated even further, his face distorted in fear.
危ない。
As he was walking backward, Uni's foot bumped against the table. With that, he tumbled to the floor. By chance, Uni's forehead struck the edge of the bed as he fell.
Uni!
Panicking, I rushed over to him and helped him sit up. Uni pressed his hands against his forehead.
痛いよ。
Oh, right, his wound.
大丈夫？見せてごらん。
Pushing back his hair, I saw that Uni's forehead had a new injury. Probably due to the shock of the collision, Uni's bandage had peeled off and dropped to the floor. This was probably the one applied to the cut Hotori had given him the other day. I thought that it had bled quite a lot at the time, but the cut itself was actually shallow. Tears were forming in Uni's large eyes.
男の子でしょ？泣いちゃダメだよ。もう仕方ないな。
I gave Uni's forehead a small kiss.
痛いの。アンドロメダの彼方まで飛んでいけ。
I saw Uni's eyes widen in surprise.
これはね、私のお母さんがやってくれたんだよ。痛いのなんて一発で忘れちゃう不思議なおまじない。
I embraced Uni's thin body closely. I buried my face in his hair.
大丈夫だよ。何も心配することなんてない。
However, I was thrust away by Uni. Ooh, that rejection must hurt, Kokoro. He had done it much more forcefully than I expected.
やめてよ。バカに触らないで。
Uni shouted, then turned and ran away. There had been pure terror on his face.
ユニ。
I was left alone in the room. Excuse me. Even though the room wasn't very wide, it felt extraordinarily vast to me.
どうして逃げたの？
Was it because he felt grossed out at his forehead being kissed while I looked like Satoru? Or was it...
大丈夫だよ。何も心配することなんて。
These were the words I was wishing for. The words I wanted to hear said to me. There was no one to say those words to me, so I used them myself on Uni. Under the guise of worrying about Uni, I may have only been thinking of myself. Maybe, being sensitive, Uni was able to see through my heart? I don't know. I don't know anything. The only thing I did know was that the remaining warmth left by Uni felt extremely lonely. Even so, I decided to run after Uni, because losing Uni would be unbearably sorrowful for me. Uni went into the direction of Hotori's room. I began to chase after Uni. Let's see what's happening in the cabin. Outside again? Self-defense / false accusation. The cold wrapped around me. This was no mere cold. It was so painful that my entire body jarred. Humans begin to feel pain if they are exposed to the elements for too long. Too used to the heating at Sphere, my unprepared body shuddered as if suddenly pulled back into reality. Well, that much was to be expected, because I was standing in front of the cabin. I had been dropped right into the middle of a violent snowstorm. At this rate, I'll freeze to death. Was Satoru trying to kill me? Panicking, I opened the door and ran into the cabin. The situation here didn't seem to have changed. Before the transfer, Uni and I had been huddled together in the same bed, but now he was curled up in another bed. I quietly stared at my hand, which prickled with pain. My fingertips were numb and had turned stark white. having lost the coloring that blood would provide. I tried blowing on them. That had hardly any effect at all. My entire body felt heavy. I didn't have the energy to talk either. At this rate, I probably won't even make it through the rest of the day. I covered my entire body with a blanket. However, even the blanket had already become cold.
Fuyukawa-san.
Oh, before I noticed, Yomiki was standing in front of me. From his facial expression, I knew that he too had weakened considerably. I quietly nodded.
食料くれないか?
Oh my. Okay. He whispered to me as he glanced toward the top bunk bed.
はい。どれくらい？
乾パン一つかみで。いや、一つまみでいい。
大丈夫ですか?
Man, everybody's just slowly dying here. That's depressing. Yomiki patted my head as he forced a smile.
僕から言わせれば、君の方がよっぽど心配だよ。
雪、やみませんね。
Yomiki looked out the window. The snow violently struck the pane.
さっき少しの間だけまたひどくなった。
助けは来るんでしょうか？
大丈夫だ。信じて待とう。
はい。
Hearing this from Yomiki, who's knowledgeable about mountains, I felt somewhat encouraged. I was honestly thankful for Yomiki's presence.
そうそう、食料でしたね。
I reached deep into my bed, reaching my hand under the pillow. However, it's not there.
あれ、ない。
どうした?
It's gone?
なくなってる。
The can with three people's shares of the rations was gone. Did Maizumi take it? I'm sure I left it underneath the pillow.
そんな、どうして?
Panicking, I looked around the area. I found it in the corner of the bed, where it had rolled into the dark area on the far side of the bed. I grasped the can, feeling relieved.
何こそこそしてんのよ。
I jumped. Maizumi peeked out at us from the top bunk. Her face was without spirit, and her voice had gone hoarse. Maizumi may be the one who's exhausted the most strength of us all. However, her bloodshot eyes alone still had the energy to glare fiercely at us.
それ何よ。
Maizumi pointed her finger at the can I was holding.
まさか私に隠れて他にも食べ物。あ?
Oh, snap. Oh no. Maizumi has the wrong idea.
違います。
Huh, we're not like you. This is the three of ours combined. We're not like you. This is the three of ours combined. Oh, what should I choose? Not like you. I don't know what to choose. Just a random one.
これは私とユニとヨモギさん3人分の食料です。
Well, this is the choice I kind of wanted to go with anyway, so.
どうだか私だけ仲間外れにして3人でこっそりどこかに隠し持ってるんじゃないの？
そんなこと。
もうよせよ、マユスミ。人を疑うのはもうよせ。
Maizumi grew sulky and withdrew back to the far side of the bed. She may not have had the energy left to quarrel with us. Maizumi's weakening at a remarkable rate. I grew a little worried.
ねえ、まゆずみさん。 どうしてそんなに反発するの？協力し合いましょうよ。私は死にたくないし。
No response came from the top bunk. I sighed and looked over at Yomugi. He only gave me a small shake of his head, as if giving up.
食料でしたね。今出します。
When I grabbed the can, it felt impossibly light. I doubted my own eyes. The can was empty. Oh my gosh, Satoru. Why? I think he ate it all. Frick, Satoru.
どうして？
There was still plenty of hardtack inside. I'd seen it just before, when I ate with Uni.
なんで？誰かが勝手に食べたの？ねえ、誰なの？
It wasn't Maizumi because we just had that talk with her. Her saying, were you hiding stuff from me? Were you hiding food from me? So I think it was Satoru. I cried out loudly enough for the whole cabin to hear. Uni and Yomugi kept silent. They just quietly looked at me. What? What were those eyes for? I heard Maizumi laughing from on her bed. Oh my gosh, it was her then. I stood up and walked over to her bed.
何がおかしいんですか？
Maizumi only countered my challenging tone with a faint smile.
あんたさ、誰が犯人かわかんないの？
Judging from her tone, Maizumi probably knows who did it. Just who is the culprit? Oh, don't identify the culprit. It's the culprit Maizumi? It could be Maizumi. I mean, she's smirking, but maybe she's laughing because it was Satoru who ate it all. But I think the culprit's Maizumi.
あなたね。
ん？
Okay, maybe it's not.
あなたなんでしょ？
I couldn't think of anyone else that would do this besides Maizumi. Okay, then it was Satoru. I couldn't forgive her. Maizumi's self-centered attitude had crossed the line. If the rest of us don't survive, it'll be her fault. Maizumi's facial expression changed into one of anger.
何よ、その目は。
あなた最低
I couldn't endure it any longer. The complaints that I'd been holding back suddenly burst out all at once.
だわ。なんで自分のことしか考えられないの？自分が助かるためなら他人を平気で足蹴にするなんて人として最低よ。
なんだと？
Leaning forward, Maizumi slapped me. Ooh. I shook it off and returned a slap of my own. The sound of it echoed through the cabin.
この甘っ！
Maizumi's hand grabbed onto my hair. The pain brought tears to my eyes. Even then, I didn't falter. I wildly swung my arms and hit Maizumi.
おい、やめろ！やめないか！
Yomugi stepped between us and I forcibly pushed Maizumi and I apart. I continued glaring at Maizumi while breathing wildly. なんとも思わ
ないの？人が苦しんでいる姿を見てなんとも思わないの？
あんたこそ自分の罪を他人になすりつけてるんじゃねえよ。
What did Maizumi just say? Blaming someone else for my own sin? Maizumi glared at me with eyes of contempt.
よくも白々しく偽善者面できるわね。
Ah, Satoru. I guess he was feeling really hungry and he ate all of it, but why did he do it? Maybe he just didn't understand the situation? Or was he being selfish?
とんでもない女だわ。
何を言ってるの？
あんたよ、 あんたが犯人に決まってるでしょうが。
I'm the culprit?
そんなはず。
あんたしかできないことよ。食料が手元にあるあんたしか人目を盗んで食べることなんてできないんだよ。
私は食べてない。信じて。
But Yomiki and Yuni didn't protect me. They only looked at me with cold, distrustful eyes.
そんな目で見ないで。
I lowered my head as if to escape their stares. No one believed me. They're trying to pin a crime on me that my body doesn't even remember committing. Even though I've been enduring the hunger all this time. It was at that moment that I suddenly realized. Right now I'm not hungry. Oh my gosh. I don't feel hunger. The hardtack I ate at noon wasn't enough to sate my hunger. I was so hungry I felt like my stomach was sticking to my back. But now, astonished, I rubbed my own stomach. I looked at Uni as if begging him for help. Uni only looked down.
ねえユニは信じてくれるよね。だって私たちさっきまで一緒にいたんだから。
そうだったな。ユニ、君なら見たんじゃないのか。
Uni nodded awkwardly.
誰だったんだ。
And then, Uni momentarily glanced in my direction. That one look said everything. Maizumi snorted through her nose in triumph. The inside of my mind went completely white. Why? Why was he lying like that?
私は
As I stayed there, immobilized by confusion and shock, Yomiki came up to the bed. He looked around the bed I used as if investigating, and then he grabbed tightly onto the blanket.
カスが
He said shortly, his tone strained.
ベッドの表面に甲板のカスが。
Ugh, Maizumi. A nerve-wracking, shrill laugh echoed in the cabin.
あんたってさ、私なんかよりよっぽど悪い女だね。
I fell to my knees where I stood.
嘘よ。
嘘なんかじゃないわ。あんたこそずっと私たちに嘘ついてサトルのふりをしてたのも最初からこれが狙いだったんじゃない？次はサトルのせいにでもする気？
Yeah, I am gonna blame it on him because he did it. I suddenly realized.
そうよ、サトルだわ。私が自分でも知らない間に食料食べちゃうなんてありえない。考えられるとしたら転移している時にサトルが勝手に食べちゃったってことくらいなのよ。彼がそんな身勝手な男だったなんて信じたくないけど。
Yeah, why'd he do it though?
また DID ってか。いい加減にしてくれよ。
Well, we don't have DRD, we're just doing this transfer thing, but... Yomiki glanced at me and clucked his tongue. He ruffled his own hair. Obvious discomfort showed on his face.
よもぎさん。
君の病気には同情するが、僕らを巻き込まないでくれよ。
違う。
何が違うんだ！
Whoa. Yomiki shouted forcefully.
君が僕とユニの分の食料まで無断で食べ尽くした。それが現実だ。僕らは一歩死に近づいたんだ。
I ate there. I looked at Uni. He just stood there, biting his lip. He averted his eyes from me.
ひょっとして優しい性格も DID とかっていう病気も 全部僕らを安心させるための演技なんじゃないのか。おかしなふりして僕らの食料を。
Tears began to overflow from my eyes. Though the already weakened bonds between us were beginning to break apart, making a shattering sound as they did. Oh man, and I thought keeping it was a good choice, but it seems like it wasn't.
すまない。失言だった。
No longer bothering to look at me, Yomgi sat in the corner of the cabin and wrapped himself in a blanket. Marizumi only continued to laugh to herself. Yuni wouldn't come near me. He sat on his bed, painfully rubbing at his stomach.
ユニごめんね。
I apologized in tears, but Yuni gave no reply. He pulled a blanket over his head. I was suddenly overcome with an extraordinary sense of loneliness. I'm not alone. I have comrades that will help me. That's what I had thought. Inside the hellish shelter cabin without food or fuel, there was only one hope that I could cling to. That I had my comrades here with me. That alone was what supported me. But even so, before I noticed, there was no one left beside me. Everyone blamed me. I looked at the hardtack crumbs scattered across the bed, messy, as if a child had eaten it. Was it Satoru that ate it? Why? He should have known what that food meant to us. For him to eat it all. Why did he do something like that? Ugh. Why did he do something like that? The tears wouldn't stop. It looked like I was unconsciously come to resent Satoru. It was because of him that my faint hope of survival had disappeared.
どうしてなのよ、サトル。
I broke down crying on the bed. Time passed, and before long, night arrived. In the corner of the cabin, Yomugi was trying to communicate with the satellite phone again. However, the results have been no good, as always.
もう電話はダメだろ
Yomugi muttered. Everyone felt the same. The night continued on. The darkness of the night deepened quickly, and little by little, it invited us toward death. Oh, transfer. Oh my. Cruel harmony. And this is where I'll stop. Oh, man. So by sticking to my choice of Kokoro keeping the rations, they're blaming me? They're blaming me for eating it because Satoru was the one who ate it. Gosh, that's terrible. Because well, he's selfish. Or maybe he did it for another reason, but man. Oh well, Satoru ate it, he ate it. And now Kokoro is full. Or she's satisfied. And now everybody else is gonna die while she lives a little longer. Oh well. Anyway, the quick recap of this episode, of course, everyone blames me. And that's basically it. It's basically the most important thing that happened was that everyone blamed me because I decided to keep the rations. And because of that, Satoru ate it all. And now, like Kokoro said, we're one step closer to death. Oh well. Anyway, can't wait to see more. Cruel Harmony, that's the next chapter name. Sounds interesting. Anyway, see you next episode.